Here is a hard biological fact that most doctors hesitate to tell you to your face, perhaps because they think it's too discouraging, or perhaps because they simply don't have the time to explain the solution. In the first 5 years of menopause alone, you lose 30% of your skin's collagen. 30%. I want you to really visualize that number. Imagine if you lost 30% of the foundation of your house in just 60 months. The walls would begin to crack, the roof would sag, and the structural integrity would be compromised. That is exactly what is happening inside your body right now. You aren't just imagining that your skin feels thinner, or that your jawline is softening, or that your knees ache more than they did 5 years ago. You are experiencing a systemic structural collapse because the estrogen that once acted as the project manager for your collagen production has left the building. For many women, this realization hits hard. You look in the mirror and you see the changes, and it feels like a betrayal. You might feel like your body is shutting down, or that the vibrant version of you is fading into the background. And the worst part, society tells you this is just normal aging. They tell you to accept the decline, or worse, they sell you a $60 jar of cream that sits on top of your skin and does absolutely nothing for the structure underneath. But here is the truth that gets buried under the marketing and the resignation. What you are seeing is not an irreversible decline. It is a biological pause. The problem isn't that your body has forgotten how to make collagen. The machinery is still there. The DNA instructions are still there. The problem is that the workers, your fibroblast cells, are dormant. They are asleep on the job because they are starving for specific fuel and signals that they used to get from hormones. If you are tired of being told to just age gracefully while you feel like you're crumbling, then listen closely. We are going to fix this. Today, we aren't just listing healthy foods. We are building a protocol. We are going to walk through 7 specific science-backed superfoods that act as a biological on switch for those dormant cells. These are chemical keys that unlock your body's ability to rebuild that lost 30% naturally. By the time we are done today, you won't just have a grocery list. You will have a strategy that functions better than most pharmacy prescriptions. Before we dive into the science, if you believe that aging should be an empowering journey of knowledge rather than a slow slide into frailty, consider subscribing to our community here. We share the kind of deep dive physiological health tips that are often too detailed for a 15-minute doctor's visit. And I want to know who is sitting with us today. Where are you watching from? Are you in the States, the UK, Australia, or somewhere else? Drop your location in the comments. It is genuinely powerful to see how far this tribe extends. Now, let's get to work. To understand why we need this first food, we have to understand the glue of your body. Collagen is not just about wrinkles. It is the connective tissue in your gut lining, your arterial walls, your spinal discs, and your bones. When collagen drops, everything becomes more fragile. To rebuild it, we need the raw materials. This brings us to our first powerhouse, bone broth. I know bone broth has become incredibly trendy in the wellness world, appearing in expensive cafes and glossy magazines. But let's strip away the trendiness and look at the anthropology and the biochemistry, because that is where the magic lies. For centuries, our ancestors consumed the whole animal skin, cartilage, marrow, and bone. They didn't just eat the lean muscle meat like we do today. By discarding the bones, modern society has discarded the very nutrients that keep our own skeleton and skin together. Collagen is a complex protein made of a triple helix. Imagine 3 ropes braided tightly together. To braid that rope, your body needs 3 specific amino acids in high concentrations: glycine, proline, and hydroxyproline. You cannot get high amounts of these from a chicken breast or a salad. They are almost exclusively found in the connective tissues of animals. When you simmer bones for 12, 24, or even 48 hours, you are performing a chemical extraction. You are breaking down the collagen in the animal bones into gelatin and collagen peptides. These are bioidentical building blocks. When you drink this liquid gold, you are flooding your bloodstream with the exact materials your fibroblasts need to start weaving new collagen. And we have the data to prove this works. A pivotal Double-blind, placebo-controlled study published in the prestigious journal Skin Pharmacology and Physiology, conducted by researchers at the University of Kiel in Germany, changed the way we look at edible collagen. They took a group of women aged 35 to 55 and gave them a specific collagen peptide supplement, which is essentially the powdered form of what you get in broth. The results were not subtle. After just 8 weeks, the women didn't just report feeling better. The objective scientific measurements showed a statistically significant improvement in skin elasticity up to 20% higher than the placebo group. But even more impressively, they measured a direct increase in the body's own production of pro-collagen type I. This means the broth didn't just act as a patch, it acted as a signal. It woke up the fibroblasts. Imagine your skin is a mattress. Over time, the springs your collagen coils rust and collapse, causing the surface to sag. Bone broth provides the fresh steel to forge new springs, and it goes deeper than skin. Because bone broth is rich in gelatin, it helps heal the gut lining. In menopause, our gut permeability can change, leading to inflammation. A sealed, healthy gut absorbs nutrients better, which reflects directly in glowing, clearer skin. It is an inside-out repair job. So, here is your actionable takeaway for this week. I want you to replace one warm beverage a day with a cup of high-quality bone broth. You can make it yourself. It's inexpensive and fills your home with a comforting aroma, or you can buy a high-quality organic brand. The trick to knowing if it's good, it should wobble like jelly when it's cold. That jiggle is the collagen content. Drink it first thing in the morning to coat your gut and prime your system, or have it as a soothing ritual before bed. You are literally sipping the structure of your future self. However, having a pile of steel springs is useless if you don't have the workers to install them. You can flood your body with glycine and proline, but without a specific catalyst, they will just float around in your blood. This leads us seamlessly to our next superfood. There is a specific enzyme in your body called lysyl hydroxylase. Its job is to take those amino acids we just talked about and twist them into that strong triple helix shape. Without this twist, collagen is weak and falls apart. This enzyme has a non-negotiable requirement. It runs on vitamin C. This brings us to number 2, citrus fruits and vitamin C-rich vegetables. I like to call this the activator. We often think of vitamin C just for immunity, something to take when we have a cold, but in the context of anti-aging, it is the ignition switch. The connection is so strong that centuries ago, sailors who didn't get vitamin C developed scurvy. What is scurvy? It is essentially the body falling apart because it cannot make collagen. Their teeth fell out, their old wounds reopened, and their skin spotted. That is extreme collagen failure. While you aren't at risk of scurvy, subclinical deficiency is common, especially as we age and our absorption slows down. If you are menopausal, your need for vitamin C is critical because you don't have estrogen to help stimulate the skin cells anymore. You need to pull every other lever available to you. The science here is incredibly robust. A landmark observational study published in the American Journal of Clinical Nutrition analyzed the dietary habits of over 4,000 women aged 40 to 74. This wasn't a small survey. This was a massive data set. The researchers controlled for sunlight exposure, smoking, and BMI. The results were undeniable. Women with higher dietary vitamin C intake had a significantly lower likelihood of a wrinkled appearance and senile dryness. The data suggests that vitamin C serves a dual purpose. First, it activates the enzymes to build new collagen. Second, it acts as a potent antioxidant that protects the existing collagen from oxidative stress, basically biological rust. Think of your collagen production line as a factory floor. The workers' fibroblasts are standing there holding the steel springs, amino acids, but the power is out. Vitamin C is the electricity. When you eat it, the lights turn on, the conveyor belts hum to life, and the assembly begins. Without it, the factory is silent. Now, here is a crucial nuance: bioavailability. Taking a synthetic vitamin C tablet is okay, but nature packages it better. In Whole Foods, vitamin C comes with bioflavonoids that help your body absorb it. Here is your actionable advice. Don't just eat citrus, pair it strategically. Aim for the collagen pair. Whenever you eat your protein, your eggs, your bone broth, your fish, add a source of vitamin C. If you are having a spinach salad with chicken, squeeze a fresh lemon over it. If you are having eggs, eat half a grapefruit or some kiwi slices. And here is a pro tip you might not know: red bell peppers. A single red bell pepper contains nearly 3 times the vitamin C of an orange. It is a powerhouse. Slice them up and keep them in the fridge for a snack. By pairing the fuel protein with the spark vitamin C, you are ensuring that your body has everything it needs to perform the repair work. Now that we have the bricks and the energy, we need to talk about the environment your cells are living in. You can't build a house while the ground is on fire. And for many women, after menopause, their body is in a state of low grade fire called inflammation. This brings us to number 3, fatty fish. We are talking about salmon, mackerel, sardines, anchovies, and herring. I call these the fire extinguishers. When estrogen drops, our natural anti inflammatory protection drops with it. We enter a state often called inflammaging, chronic low level inflammation that degrades our tissues. This inflammation releases enzymes that chew up collagen. It also affects our joints, making them stiff and painful, which discourages us from moving, leading to further stiffness. It is a vicious cycle. The omega-3 fatty acids found in these cold water fish, specifically EPA and DHA, are the most potent natural anti-inflammatories we have. But they do something else that is visually critical for your skin. They integrate themselves into the cell membrane. Every cell in your body has a skin of its own called the lipid bilayer. This membrane decides what gets into the cell and what gets out waste. It also holds water. If your cell membranes are built with rigid, unhealthy fats, the cell looks flat and dehydrated. If they are built with flexible, fluid omega-3 seconds, the cell stays plump, round, and hydrated. A study published in the Journal of Lipid Research demonstrated this mechanism beautifully. It showed that omega-3 fatty acids can effectively inhibit the inflammatory pathways caused by UV radiation and aging. Essentially, they stop the environmental damage from breaking down your collagen matrix. Another study specifically noted that fish oil intake increased skin hydration and significantly reduced the itching and dryness that plagues so many women in menopause. Imagine your skin cells are like tiny water balloons. When they are full and the rubber is strong, they are tight, firm, and bouncy. If the rubber is brittle and weak, the water leaks out and the balloon looks shriveled. Fatty fish keeps that rubber strong, flexible, and watertight. It gives you that glow that makeup tries to mimic. So what is the plan? Your actionable takeaway is to aim for 3 servings of fatty fish per week. I know for some, fish is an acquired taste. If you struggle with it, start with milder fish like cod, but understand that the oilier the fish, the better the benefit. Salmon is the gold standard. If you absolutely cannot eat fish, you must look into a high quality algae oil supplement, which is where the fish get the omega-3 seconds from in the first place. But eating the actual fillet is superior because you get the high quality protein along with the fats. Next time you are at the supermarket, walk right past the processed meats and head for the seafood counter. Think of it as buying a treatment for your joints and your face simultaneously. Speaking of protection, we need to talk about a group of foods that acts as a shield against the sun and the environment. We often worry about sun damage, but did you know you can eat your sunscreen? This brings us to number 4, dark leafy greens. Spinach, kale, Swiss chard, collard greens, and bok choy. I call these the guardians. We have all been told to eat our greens since we were children, usually because of the fiber. But in the context of rebuilding collagen, we are interested in 2 things: chlorophyll and lutein. Chlorophyll is the pigment that makes plants green. It captures sunlight and turns it into energy. For a long time, we thought it was useless to humans. But recent research has shown that chlorophyll has profound antioxidant effects on our tissue. A fascinating study published in the Korean Journal of Investigative Dermatology explored this The researchers found that dietary chlorophyll reduced the number of free radicals in the skin and crucially increased the expression of pro-collagen. The study suggested that chlorophyll prevents the UV-induced reduction of collagen. It acts like an internal shield. When you eat greens, you are depositing these protective antioxidants into your skin layers where they sit and neutralize the UV rays that manage to penetrate your sunscreen. Furthermore, leafy greens are rich in vitamin K and calcium. Remember, collagen is the flexible matrix of your bones. In menopause, bone density is a major concern. By eating greens, you are supporting the collagen structure within your skeleton, preventing fractures, and keeping you upright and mobile. There is another villain that greens fight: sugar. High blood sugar causes a process called glycation. This is where sugar molecules bind to your protein, collagen, and turn it hard and brittle, like the caramelized top of a creme brulee. This leads to deep cross-hatched wrinkles. The fiber in greens helps regulate your blood sugar, preventing these spikes and keeping your collagen supple. Picture your collagen network as a beautiful wooden fence surrounding your garden. Over time, the wind, rain, and sun beat down on it, causing it to rot and gray. Leafy greens are like a high-quality weatherproof sealant you paint onto the wood. They don't replace the wood, but they stop the elements from destroying it, keeping the fence strong and beautiful for decades longer. Here is your actionable advice. Green up one meal a day. And here's the trick. It doesn't have to be a salad. Many people find raw kale hard to digest. Cook it, saute spinach into your morning eggs, combining it with protein. Braise some collard greens with garlic, or blend a handful of spinach into a fruit smoothie. The fruit hides the taste completely, but your body still gets the medicine. If you are finding this breakdown helpful, if it's making the science of aging feel less like a mystery and more like a solvable puzzle, please take a moment to give this video a thumbs up. It helps the algorithm show this to other women who are looking for answers, and it lets me know that you want more deep dives like this. Now, let's move to the fifth food. If greens are the shield, this next food is the Special Forces team that goes out and hunts down the enemies of collagen. Number 5, berries. Blueberries, raspberries, blackberries, strawberries, and acai. I call these the enforcers. We need to talk about a specific biological villain called MMPs, matrix metalloproteinases. I know it sounds like a mouthful. Think of MMPs as tiny pairs of scissors floating around inside your skin. In a young, healthy body, these scissors are useful. They trim away old, damaged tissue, so new tissue can grow. But in a postmenopausal body, due to oxidative stress and inflammation, these scissors go haywire. They start multiplying and cutting everything in sight, including your healthy structural collagen. This is a primary cause of rapid sagging. Berries contain a powerful weapon against these scissors: ellagic acid and anthocyanins. These are the compounds that give berries their deep red, blue, and purple colors. A study published in the Journal of Agricultural and Food Chemistry investigated the effects of berry anthocyanins. The researchers found that these compounds effectively inhibited the activity of MMP enzymes. It's like they put handcuffs on the scissors. By eating berries, you are literally stopping the demolition crew from destroying the foundation of your skin. Additionally, berries rank incredibly high on the ORAC scale, which measures antioxidant capacity. They scavenge free radicals better than almost any other food group. Free radicals are unstable molecules that rust our bodies. If you want to stop the rusting, you need berries. Here is the best part. Berries are low glycemic. Unlike bananas or mangoes, which are high in sugar and can cause that glycation we talked about, berries are sweet, but have very little impact on your blood sugar. They are the perfect anti-aging fruit. Your takeaway is simple and delicious. Treat berries like a daily prescription. You don't need a bucket of them. A half cup a day is sufficient to keep those MMP scissors in check. Put them in your Greek yogurt, protein. Stir them into your oatmeal, or just keep a bowl of washed berries in the fridge to snack on when you want something sweet. And yes, frozen berries are just as good, sometimes even better, because they are picked at peak ripeness and flash frozen, locking in the nutrients. We are nearing the end of our protocol, but we cannot ignore the texture of your skin. We want structure, yes, but we also want softness. We want that dewy look. This brings us to number 6, avocados. I call the avocado the moisturizer. For years, specifically in the 80 seconds and 90 seconds, women were told to fear fat. We ate low fat everything, and our skin suffered for it. Your body needs cholesterol and healthy fats to produce hormones. In fact, all steroid hormones, including the little bit of estrogen you still make, are made from cholesterol. If you starve your body of fat, you starve your hormonal system. While the fatty fish provided the structural integrity for the cell wall, avocados provide high doses of vitamin E alongside monounsaturated fats. This combination is crucial for the hydrolipid barrier on the surface of the skin. This barrier is what traps moisture. If this barrier is damaged, water evaporates from your skin, transepidermal water loss, leaving it looking crepey and dry. A pilot study published in the Journal of Cosmetic Dermatology evaluated the effects of dietary fat intake on skin aging. The data suggested that a higher intake of monounsaturated fats, like those found in avocados, was significantly associated with increased skin elasticity. The study highlighted that these fats help to modulate the skin's immune response, keeping redness and irritation at bay. Avocados are also rich in lutein and zeaxanthin, which are carotenoids, usually associated with eye health, but they also accumulate in the skin and absorb UV radiation. Think of a dried up sponge on your kitchen sink. It's hard, brittle, and rough. If you try to bend it, it might crack. That is skin without healthy fats. Now, imagine pouring a rich olive oil onto that sponge. It becomes soft, pliable, and resilient. That is exactly what the avocado is doing to your tissues from the inside out. The actionable advice here: embrace the fat. It is not the enemy. Try to eat half an avocado 3 or 4 times a week. Slice it onto your toast, maybe with a poached egg for protein. Dice it into your salad, or, and this is a great trick, blend it into a smoothie. It makes a smoothie incredibly creamy like a milkshake, but you won't taste the avocado at all. It's a stealthy way to lubricate your joints and skin. Finally, we arrive at number 7. This is a food that is often overlooked in the beauty world because of its strong smell, but it is chemically essential for the strength of your collagen. Number 7, garlic. I call this the rebuilder. You might be wondering, how does garlic help my wrinkles? The answer lies in the periodic table of elements. Sulfur, collagen fibers are not just single threads. They need to be cross-linked to form a strong mesh. Think of it like a fishing net. The knots are just as important as the rope. Sulfur is a trace mineral that acts as the glue or the knot that holds the collagen fibers together. Without adequate sulfur, your body can produce collagen, but the fibers remain disorganized and weak. They break easily under tension. Garlic is one of the best natural sources of sulfur compounds. It also contains taurine and lipoic acid, which help rebuild damaged collagen fibers. There was a fascinating study involving fibroblasts and garlic compounds published in the journal Bioscience, Biotechnology, and Biochemistry. The research showed that garlic extract actually enhanced the proliferation of fibroblasts. Remember those tired, dormant workers we talked about at the very beginning? Garlic acts like a double shot of espresso for them. It stimulates them to wake up, divide, and create more collagen producing cells. Furthermore, garlic is antimicrobial and supports your immune system. When your immune system is constantly fighting off low-grade infections or gut imbalances, it drains resources that could be used for beauty and repair. By keeping your immune system strong with garlic, you free up energy for collagen production. Here is your practical takeaway, and this is a chef secret as well as a health tip. To unlock the medicine in garlic, you must chop or crush it and let it sit for 10 minutes before cooking. This is called the 10-minute rule. The enzyme alliinase needs oxygen to convert the garlic into allicin, the active sulfur compound. If you throw it straight into the hot pan, you kill the enzyme before it does its work. So crush it, let it rest while you chop your onions or prep your greens, and then cook it. Add it to your bone broth soups, your stir fries with the leafy greens, or your sauces for the fish. It ties everything together, both culinarily and biologically. So let's take a breath and look at the full picture we've just painted. We aren't just talking about eating better. We are talking about a strategic synergistic protocol to rebuild your body's scaffolding. We have the bone broth providing the raw amino acid bricks. We have citrus providing the vitamin C spark to activate the assembly line. We have fatty fish building the cell walls and putting out the inflammatory fires. We have leafy greens guarding the work site from sun and sugar damage. We have berries arresting the enzymes that try to tear the work down. We have avocados locking in the moisture and keeping the tissues pliable. And we have garlic acting as the sulfur glue that ties the whole structure together. This is a symphony of nutrition. And the beautiful thing is, you don't need a prescription for any of it. You don't need to ask permission. You have total control. Every time you lift a fork, you are making a decision about the structural integrity of your body. I know that making dietary changes can sometimes feel overwhelming, especially when we are dealing with the fatigue, the brain fog, or the joint aches that often accompany menopause. It can feel like just one more thing to do. But I want to encourage you to start small. You don't have to overhaul your entire life tomorrow. Pick one of these foods to introduce this week. Maybe it's just squeezing lemon into your water in the morning. That's a win. Then next week, buy a bag of frozen berries. That's another win. Remember, the goal isn't to look 25 again. The goal is to look like the healthiest, most vibrant, most resilient version of the woman you are right now. It is about resilience. It is about looking in that mirror, doing that little lift with your fingers, and realizing that while you can't stop gravity, you can absolutely fight back against the collapse. You can look at your reflection and see a woman who is feeding her body with respect, love, and high octane fuel. I want to leave you with a challenge or perhaps an invitation. In the comments below, I want you to tell me, which of these 7 foods are you going to add to your grocery list first? Is it the bone broth? Are you going to try the garlic trick? I read every comment, and I am genuinely rooting for your success. If you found this masterclass helpful, if it made the science of aging feel a little less scary and a little more manageable, please subscribe to the channel and like this video. Do it not just for the algorithm, but because your health is worth fighting for, and we are in this fight together. You have the power to rebuild. The tools are right there in your kitchen now. Let's go use them. I'll see you in the next video.